weekday here with you. Let's get to our cat talk here, brought to us by our friends over at Celsius. Hockey fans, don't sit this one out when it's game time. Make Celsius a part of your play and get that energy up. Game day is fueled by Celsius Essential Energy Drinks, the official energy drink of
your Florida Panthers. Soon to be Stanley Cup champion.
Oh, one more. Only one collapse of 3-0 in history, and that was back in the 40s. They kept bringing that up yesterday.
Hey, Marcos.
Yes.
Back at it, baby.
Back at it with the Galaxy vibe.
That's a good one. That is a good one.
Let's hear some of the goals last night. We haven't heard enough. We haven't heard enough play-ins today for my liking. All right, let's listen back. Last night, Florida Panthers put it on the Edmonton Oilers, completely shook that building to the core. You come out of the gate, good game. You knew that they were going to come hair on fire. Bob, he was up for the task early on against an aggressive Oilers team. And then shenanigans broke loose. You knew this was probably going to happen. Edmonton and the Panthers, they got a little chippy at the end. Their dirty hits on Barkov. And so they weren't going to let anything slide with this game, Leroy. And so when the first brouhaha took part, where Tkachuk gets into it and gets into the business of it all, go to a 4-on-4. We don't typically like that, but not an issue this time around for the Rhino.
Here's Barkov, power move up the far side. Almost lost it, got it back across to an open Forsling. A shot tip, and they score with Sam Reinhart cruising to the front of the net. That one deflects home, and the Panthers strike first with 1:02 to go here in the opening frame. It's 1-0.
Yeah. That's how you call it.
Oh, that's how you call it, Plagans. 1-0 going into the second period. So then they even things up. Warren Fogle gets on a breakaway. He puts it right over, under Bob's glove, and it was their first 5-on-5 goal of the series. Bums.
Welcome to the series, guys.
Yeah, really, it's really annoying. But Bob, he was doing great stuff. Bouchard had a couple of shots on him, but wasn't able to get it off the rebound. And then all hell breaks loose. Vladimir Tarasenko, a champion a couple of years back. They bring him in the middle of this year. Bill Zito doing the thing. And he just brought the Oilers to the Terra Dome.
Out comes Lundell. Got it to center before he pushes it deep inside the Oilers zone. Now played out front shot. They score. What a setup. Tarasenko out in front. He was set up by Luostarinen, and the Panthers take a 2-1 lead with 10:48 to play here in the second.
Apparently Skinner forgot that he's supposed to be in front of the goal.
He was on the other side, though. They always said he can't get over quick enough.
Skinner's just sitting here. It's crazy. All the good goalies that they face. This Skinner, he's nuts. It's all over the place.
That's crazy.
Like, what are you trying to do there, dude?
Take notes, dude.
Oh man, so huge setup. That line's been really good, by the way. Tarasenko, Luostarinen, that crew has really provided some punch for the Cats. But as they've been mentioning, no points so far for Matthew Tkachuk in the series. That was all about the change as him and Sam Bennett, the ass-kicking duo that they are, they set it up and put the Cats up 3-1.
Broberg, he'll be bumped into. Now a loose puck here on the near side, turned over. Tkachuk out in front, a chance, and they score upstairs. It's Sam Bennett. The Panthers take a 3-1 lead with 6:03 to play here in the second.
Had to feel good for Matthew Tkachuk. They hate his ass in Edmonton, back to the Calgary Flames days.
They were giving him the Kyrie treatment.
Yeah, dude, they hate him. I mean, he said in his first press conference, he goes, I hate Edmonton, but now I guess I hate Tampa more. So he was able to go into the reserve for his old Oilers hate, and certainly had to feel good for Matthew Tkachuk. And then the storybook to really put a dagger into this game and have the entire country shell-shocked. Alexander Barkov, they tried to take him out with dirty action, with dirty shenanigans, with dirty hits. Well, Barkov says, I'm about to do you dirty and put us up 4-1.
Barkov to Rodriguez. Barkov in front, a lone shot, and he scores! Barkov makes it 4-1 Panthers with 4:29 to go in the second. The captain streaks in alone, and the Panthers lead by a trio.
No.
Pretty good.
That's good.
They thought he was gone. They tried to take him out.
Tried to take him out. They tried to do the Cats dirty.
Did
No,
their best.
no.
They gave it their best shot. It's done though, dude.
You mess with Finland, you mess with us.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Okay.
Because we're gonna finish the job
Oh my god.
coming up tomorrow.
-1.
Why?
No way, dude.
Dude, too much. Too much.
Can we get a watch party in Finland?
And then here's the worst part. You had to like enunciate it like as if nobody was gonna get it. Right? Finish the job. But like, stop, dude.
What's the coach? Chris Knobloch, right? That's the Oilers coach.
Oh, that nerd.
Man, I don't know if you guys saw this. He was mic'd up for the game, and there's audio of him just yelling at his goalie after every goal.
Yeah, he seems to fight with Skinner a lot. He goes, "No, you stay until I say you go."
Didn't he bench him? Didn't he it wasn't earlier on in the playoff scenario?
Yeah, he missed 2 games. He got benched for 2 games.
So this is audio that we were able to get from the sideline of him talking to the goalie.
Skinner.
You seem very upset, dude. Very upset.
I get a -1 for finish them, and you're pulling that.
That was audio from yesterday's game, dude.
-1.
What?
-1, dude.
Leroy?
-1.
Leroy?
Bit of a reach.
Oh,
-1.
Show poniness.
Bit of a reach.
This is
Wait, you know what? We should get -1, too much bit.
tough crowd.
Schmieden says the Oilers coach looks like a Sunday school youth pastor. Yeah, he does. He's trying to teach you about the New Testament. Definitely.
Not looking for him.
Oh, what a day. What a day it was. Can I hear from Piqué Subban?
Oh,
He was
yes.
on the broadcast.
Oh, you like him again?
You can tell
he's back. He's back.
You can tell he was really depressed in the second period. I don't know if he was putting that on for Messier.
I think you know what, to be honest with you, I think he's that way as a hockey guy, right? It's not necessarily that he wants either team to win. It's just that he wants good hockey. He doesn't like, and he always gets annoyed when there's certain things that he feels shouldn't be happening. And so that's where that comes in.
Maybe. Here was PK on the ESPN desk after.
By the way, the last time we saw a sweep, PK, in the Stanley Cup final, that was way back in 1998 when Detroit beat the Capitals. Game 4 of this series on ABC, of course. Yes.
Linda, if it's up to me, I'm saying they're done like dinner. I think this thing is over. I think Florida's going to lock this thing down, shut it out, and raise the cup here. I think it's done.
Wow.
Wow.
Wait, done like dinner.
Done like dinner, dude.
Well, can I just say this, PK Subban?
Oh,
You have not been out to eat with me and my boy, because we definitely go 7-game series.
I don't know. We went out that last one. It was like a clean sweep right away.
Oh my goodness. Dude. Hey, and we did it all at the bar. We had plates everywhere. I'm like, hey, we could wait, or we can just hang out by the bar and get drinks. And then when 2 spots open up, yeah, let's do it. Oh,
Smitty says, what's it going to take for Leroy to let Tobin have the Goosies?
I don't never stop him from having the Goosies.
His beloved Wolverines won this year. We will bring the chip back to South Florida for the first time in over 10 years.
I don't never stop Tobin from no.
That's what I said. He's greedy. He thinks he gets to have all the Goosies.
You wait. No. You get excessive at times. And I just say, pump your brakes a little bit. But anytime you have said, dude, that made me feel, I don't question.
I might get misty. Like when I mean, like when I see 72 hoist that cup, I'm gonna get a little misty eyed, I think.
Yeah.
Well, because you and Bob have been through some things.
Yep.
Uncomfortable.
Hey, but can I just say this? Even before the pandemic, there is one guy who has supported Bob, right? And that's been Tobin. I hope if this all is said and done, that old Bobrovsky don't forget the little people, right? Don't forget the guys who gave him support the whole time. Now, he don't have to say nothing to me. I called him 4-Go Bob. I get that, right?
He made you money.
Yeah, but you have been supportive. You have traveled all of South Florida to have conversations with him, right? Yeah.
It's just a cool story. And to get to do something like this, the end, because I don't know how many more years. He's got 2 more years after this year. I don't know if you're going to play past 37. Who knows? But like to get this at this point in your career after many, many years, struggles, coaching changes, young guys maybe taking your job, journeyman maybe taking your job.
Getting it. Finally
getting it. That's that's the coolest thing on this. Like, yeah, Kachuk at 26 and Barkov, who's been here from the jump.
Right.
Also very cool. But man, those guys are still in their prime.
Right.
35 years old getting to do this.
Right.
So cool.
This was earned.
Absolutely. You know what? And let's be honest. It took them 2 years to earn this. Everybody thinks you earn it, with the record you have this year and the playoffs this year. No, they started earning this in the middle of last year when Paul Maurice took over. Right?
I think when they traded for Kachuk, I think that's when they're like, all right.
Yeah, but it didn't work right away either. And you were like, oh, we traded Huberdeau, who's an all-time points leader for the franchise and high-flying offense. And man, I mean, Bill Zito couldn't have nailed it anymore. The dude has had the golden touch.
Even with this year.
And the additions they've made. And
Tarasenko in the middle of the year.
Yep.
Crazy.
But even and don't look, let's not act like we knew who Tarasenko was. Like who?
Nope. He had a cool accent too.
But check this out. I do what I always do when we have these trades for hockey. Tobin, I ask you, and then you get mad at me.
It's true. You seem to lash out on him for no reason sometimes.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Wait, can I just say this? Wait. Let's just do our normally racial insensitive segment right now.
What?
All right. I'm open to it.
A white guy, a black dude, and a Latino walk into a bar.
All right.
Who you asking the hockey question to?
J-Fig.
I'm just saying.
Why would you even mention my name, Tobin?
I didn't, but you understand what I'm saying.
You're knowledgeable.
Where have you been?
About lashing out, please.
I wasn't lashing out. It's just, again, in the middle of it, he's asking me rules.
I asked you a simple.
Well, I helped you out. And
I know.
Calling me out.
I said thank you, Jennifer.
I helped both of you.
Jennifer helped me out. Tobin just lashed out. You lashed out. You went after me. He sent me like I almost cried at the emoji he sent me. It was so mean.
It was a side eye.
That emoji was very loud and clear.
Right. I'm like, wow.
I want to enjoy the cats.
Wait, I'm like, no, but I asked the question. Okay. Usually if there's a power play, there's no icing on the shorthanded team. What if both teams are shorthanded? Can you just whack it back and forth? Right? So I was like, hey, can there be icing when it's 4-on-4? Because, whatever. Did he answer it? No. Did he try to find? No.
Could we just send rhino emojis and just have some fun? Or do you got to ask rules after a goal?
Mean emojis. That's what I get. Group chat mean emojis. Everybody knew it was for me.
Guy thinks I'm Gary Bettman.
No, that's not is that like an unreasonable question?
It's not an appropriate time.
When is it?
Not after scoring the first goal.
They were 4-on-4 though. I was typing the question while they scored. I didn't the question was coming if I could type faster before they scored.
Don't take it personally, Leroy. He turns into a different man when he watches the Panthers. Look what he almost did to his wife.
Yeah.
He almost kicked her off the couch.
Right. He almost called her a mush.
I wasn't going to kick her off the couch, but I was thinking in my head, mush.
She was You say D. You say D. Right now, you are on mush alert.
I didn't tell her that. She still doesn't know that.
Oh, okay.
Smart
I'm
man.
gonna tell her.
She doesn't. She's not gonna listen. Pretty good.
No, she doesn't. Like, because they have to know that what we do on this show is like not normal. Right?
Take a break. Your Florida Panthers are a win away from hoisting the Stanley Cup. They win last night 4-3. Take a 3-0 series lead. All of Canada was shook except for the one grandma who definitely wanted a chili pepper. Would you agree with that, J Fig? Do you feel like she was celebrating a bet or was she confused?
I honestly think she was confused. When I saw it, I turned to the side and
I mean, the old get confused.
the old guy confused, and maybe she was just saying "Go team." I don't know.
She was just rooting for hockey.
That's
She
when
was
you know.
rooting
That's
for
when you
hockey.
know when you ask some
While
friend
wearing
to
a
go to
bunch
the
of
game.
Oilers merch.
Yeah. Well, no, because here's the other thing. Here's what I know: people that aren't real fans, they know they better wear what everybody else is wearing. They know that much. So, yeah. Except football. Football is different, right? Football, where there's a badge of honor to wear the other team's stuff in a stadium.
I just thought it was strange.
It was strange. It looked odd. I'm like, am I the only one that noticed that? What are you cheering about?
I
I
just
looked
thought
at
for sure.
everyone in the room like, did that just happen?
Yeah.
I thought she for sure just won some gambling. I mean, listen.
She probably got confused and thought
Some
that
people
was
call that heart insurance. You know, you bet against your team, you sprinkle a little something on the other team, so you're sad, but also, you know, the green line in your pockets makes you feel a little bit better.
Right.
Is it me or are these Oilers fans making more of a stamp on this Stanley Cup than the actual Oilers?
Yeah, I mean, McDavid came to play yesterday. He got some points. I mean, Bob he stoned him on some goal attempts, but he set his teammates up great in that third period for sure. He tried. Draisaitl, more like just dry production. He hasn't done nothing. The only thing he's done is punch Barkov right in the face.
Yeah, that was
which we'll never forget. Draisaitl, we'll never forget you. And
That's
then
all right.
Barkov.
But you know, my thing is, you know how you can do all that stuff is win the cup.
It was the best revenge of all time, right?
Exactly.
Comes right in there.
And to be honest with you, Paul Maurice said it perfectly. Don't worry about all that stuff. Right? And the cool thing about, and I keep saying this, y'all don't realize how cool this is. How these guys have had the same message ever since Paul Maurice went into the building.
Yep.
And it's cool to see because they can tell you how close they are and how much they have fun. But when that message has been consistent throughout the whole season, good, bad, or indifferent, that's a sign of how close they are.
Here is Paul Maurice speaking of, and this was him on Barkov's impact on the team.
Some of the games that he's played this year where he's had the most impact, he doesn't show up on the score sheet. And then what his gift is, he defines everyone else's game. Alexander Barkov, this is what I'm willing to do. This is how I'm going to play the game. So if you think of being a rookie coming to training camp, well, this is my favorite line of all rookies, I just got to play my game. You don't have a game, right? You don't have one. You can't play a game. Why don't you just play like him? That's his. Talk about quiet leadership. We think about it, and I learned too as I go. He's a unique personality, but his consistency with that game and the number of nights that he's not on the score sheet necessarily, that everybody on the bench is going, "Oh my God, that guy's a player." That's his gift to us.
Damn, dude, that was Goosies right there.
This guy's good.
He's good.
That Paul
Maurice is good. And you know what else he does? He's on message right away.
Yep.
Now, in contrast, our guy says some goose-worthy things, but you got to kind of pick him out of the hay.
Which
right?
guy?
Mike McDaniel.
Oh yeah, he's a machine gun.
Trying to think, has he ever given you Goosies, Leroy? I feel like no.
Mike McDaniel. The thing that I appreciate about Mike McDaniel is very similar to Paul Maurice, is that the attitude in which he goes about interacting with his players and how he gets them to perform is so different than we're used to a football coach or a coach being, that it's refreshing, right? Even though he carries on.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing he is consistent with is his interaction with his players, how he goes about explaining things is that, look, it's always relatively positive. And that's the one thing you can say about all the coaches down here, which is rare. I mean, Spoelstra has been very positive when things have been at its worst.
Oh, I'll always be
right.
like marveling when he'd be like, "Hey, it was a 1-4 trip." I like some stuff together.
Right. And so if you take the three coaches, right, of your three teams, you talk about the Heat, the Panthers, and the Dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
It's all relatively a new style, even though some coaches have been doing it for a while, of interaction with your players.
He's the most media like friendly. Like he'll give you a juicy quote. You know, the other guys like Spo to get the juicy stuff. It does like have to get to anger for him,
right?
Like,
He get and even when he's mad, he doesn't really.
But like he'll say his crazy stuff when he's like really he'll say like the hammer and the anvil stuff, or he'll threaten the league on a fine. But it takes a lot. Paul Maurice, he'll give you some juicy ones.
This isn't the Run for show. My feelings don't matter.
2-1 filthy.
But that's just the thing.
Filthy.
You have like these three coaches that are like, to me, refreshing in how they go about things, and they are getting success in a way that you wouldn't think a coach at that level would. Because when you think of coaches, I mean, hell, we just had a coach for a team that was last year that he no longer has that job in Minneapolis, in Minnesota, who had a player score what, 50, 60 points? And he called them out.
Chris Finch?
Yeah, and he called them out.
How's his rehab going? Is he all right?
Who's rehab?
Chris Finch. Remember he blew his patella? Because who fell into him? Was it in like round 1, Marcos?
I had no clue he blew.
Oh, he had the coach from the second row.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, no.
Ridiculous.
So it's it's pretty amazing how just different it is, right? For all the teams down here to have like a positive thing. I don't know how I would have responded to that, right? Now, Bill Belichick wasn't a yeller, right? Ted Marchibroda wasn't a yeller, right? He was the first coach in Baltimore.
Oh,
yes, the same one. Bud Carson was a yeller, right? That was my first coach. Jim Schaffner was kind of like Paul Maurice. Guys, we're all professionals here. He goes, and I know we're going to do the right work, so we're not going to even stay in the hotel the night before a game. And everybody in the back is going, don't do that. Like, we know us, right? So, like, yeah, it never seemed to work out when I was playing. A coach being like that, he was considered soft. When who was the coach that took over the redhead? Cam Cameron. When he took over, everybody's like, that ain't gonna never work. Right?
He did tell people to fail forward fast.
But I'm just saying, like
And also,
but if Paul Maurice would say the same thing, it comes across differently.
He would never.
No, but you know what
I know what you mean, but it was a ridiculous thing Cam was trying to get off the ground.
Well, he also said you got to turn those thumbs upside down.
Hey, we need those thumbs to go this. Give us one more from Paul Maurice on being a win away from the cup.
Every team's got his own personality, and I can say this And I think you will have faith in the fact, because that I've said it before, this is a different group. And they have been serious since training camp. They've been focused and even keeled over the course of the year. So we had 3 blocks of hockey that we didn't love. And the first 2 got corrected really, really quickly. And it was basically by them. You showed a couple things we can't do, and off they went. So they're not a whole lot different today than they were 3 weeks ago. They've had a pretty good program. The players been running that room for the year. It's from training camp. They've been running that room. I pop in every once in a while to say hello.
Wow.
How you doing, guys?
Well, that's you know what?
Very Larry Coker.
When he can do something like that, that means that he's done his job.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? When the coach doesn't have to micromanage, because the players, and you think about football, you think about all the successful programs, football teams, or whatever, they always had those dogs in the locker room where the coach never had to go in there and say anything because the players would handle it. Right? You know, when you talk about the Ravens, you talk about Ray Lewis and Ed Reed. Right? And so there's guys in there that can do that. So the coach is like, I did my job. Like, it's on you. And the players take pride in that.
We'll take a break.